The flame-grilled Whopper from Burger King. The most food-filling burger.
Is it, though?
Is that?
Yes. A slightly better version of you.
I don't understand.
Just like the new Whopper that's juicier and tastier than ever before. Same, but hits different. That's my line now.
Oh, sorry.
Whopper never tasted so good. Order now on the Burger King app.
This is the Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Order the ultimate food satisfaction with the Flame Grilled Bacon Double Cheeseburger XL. Order your Burger King delivery now.
Let's go!
Hi, this is Paul Cooney. We're here with our friends at Burger King. Welcome back for the new season. Well, what a night last night for Rangers. I met some of the Rangers fans on the way back from Athens. They were under the pump for quite a while last night, but 1-1, and they're through 3-1 as we know. Craig Moore is here, a Rangers legend, and a Celtic legend. Charlie Mulgrew is in the house. Two giants of the game. 6'4", Charlie? Yeah.
Yep.
He's got me covered.
6'3.5". Yeah.
Oh, I wish I was. He's got me covered well and truly, height-wise.
Rangers, they've done it again last night, because it looked as though they were, as you say, it was tough early on, but... Yeah. They're through.
As a great result, Paul, you look over both of the legs. First half was nowhere near good enough, and if Panathinaikos were ruthless and took their chances, then this could have been an opportunity that was beyond Rangers, but they didn't. They managed to hang in, and probably last night the response after conceding as quickly as what they did was really, really important, and it's a fantastic result, but performances will need to get better.
What about JD Gassama on the pitch? Again, just a couple of minutes, first touch, he scores.
And by the way, it's Charlie, you know, the technique in terms of being able to get that strike and keep it down was a real good effort, and like I said, perfect timing, Paul.
Charlie, what did you make of it?
Yeah, I think Rangers won't come up against a poorer team in the final third in Europe. I've not seen many teams with ruin that many chances. I think over the two legs they had something like 34 shots and only 10 of them or something were on target. So I think that you could see they were toothless in the final third. Not only the shots, they did opportunities in the final third that they never kind of turned into any chances. But listen, for Rangers it was about getting through the tie, grinding it through. Russell Martin would have took that, try to get his ideas across. First couple of competitive games, they'll keep learning from it. To get through with that performance, I think he'll be delighted with it. They had a lot of possession, but they had 26 shots over the two legs, so they had their chances as well, and they were just more clinical.
Incredibly proud of them, the team, the staff, the fans were amazing. So it's a big night for us. I think, listen, we're playing against a really good team in a really difficult place to play. Over the two games, they've been very good coach, good players. It's probably as tough a draw as we could have had. So they're going to have moments. But I think we started both games not well enough in the first half. But at half-time, the lads have composed themselves and done exactly what I asked them. And even after conceding the goal, it's the best response. And they stuck together, they fought, they dug in. And in the second half, we played some really good football as well. And should have had a few more moments ourselves. But we'll get better and they'll grow so much from that. So I'm really proud of everyone tonight. And I said to the players before the game at this football club, you have an opportunity not many people get to have nights like this and really brilliant moments and to make the most of it, and I'm really proud of them.
The Czechs will be in town Tuesday night, Victoria. Pleasant coming to town. What do you think, Craig? We'll look forward to it in the next hour or so, but everyone thought it was going to be Servette, but it wasn't to be. I met the Rangers fans, I said, quite a few of them on the way back via London this morning. They said, we were shocking, but we're through, but we'll have to be better against Pleasant.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Although I think the potential Champions League route looked a little bit kinder than potentially if Rangers were to lose the game. So look, I think Rangers have got a great opportunity. The home tie first gives them again an opportunity, I think, to get the crowd right behind them and to hopefully take a lead away. But you know, this level of football, Paul, it's a small margins, it's a mistakes, and at the same time being able to take your moments when they produce themselves.
Huge game. What do you think the manager's feeling? You know him well, Russell Martin. He'll be saying, well, Jack Butland has started well, could have done better, maybe at the goal, but he had a few.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, knowing Russell will be really happy with the possession stats. Certainly for the first game, 75%. I think 55 to 60% in the second game away from home in Europe. Doesn't happen very often. What he won't be happy with how they concede possession in the middle area. very cheaply try and play forward and lose it very. They look very vulnerable in the counter attack again. So he'll be trying to tighten that up, I'd imagine, and then trying to get a bit more play in the final third. I just don't understand. Not enough balls for me go up to the striker when they're getting man marked in midfield. There's that space to roll up to the striker's feet. So maybe that's something they can work on, more forward passes to have more effect in the final third. But if you're going to have possession, it's alright having possession. It's great, and that's the way he likes to play. But you've got to kill teams off, otherwise they get a lift, and especially the more breakaways they get. And as I say, Victoria Pilsen, you imagine if they get the chances that Panathinaikos had, you'd imagine they would take them. So they'll be a week or two further on in their process, and they'll be looking at all these things. I know for a fact he'll be sitting down with the players and looking how they can avoid these breakaways.
And he said, so, Greg.
No, you bang on. Like I said, I think in terms of mid to final third, certainly needs to be better in terms of opportunities, creating opportunities. Pass appreciation, it's too many sort of like those straight balls, Charlie, where they're defenders' dream. And that happened too often last night. They need to be better at the build-up. There's no doubt about that. The inverted fullbacks is fine, but I think there needs to be a better awareness from those players when they find themselves in those positions to be on the half turn facing forward rather than back to goal.
Rangers fans, what are you feeling? 0808 17 17 700. Craig Moore is with us. Debut for the new season. Good to have you back.
Good to be back, Paul. I had a good spell.
Yeah.
I had a good spell.
You've been Far East and Middle East.
Fattened up nicely.
All right, some good contracts.
Oh, no, yeah. I wish. Working hard, though.
And Charlie, for Celtic, where we spoke about it 2 nights ago, that looks as though they're getting on loan. Jemai Simpson-Pussy, 19-year-old defender on loan for the season.
You like the sound of him, Paul, don't you?
He's got some rave reviews from Guardiola in his early games.
Yeah, he should be interesting to see how he does, and if he's. It's interesting because we spoke about the last time I was on about Trusty signing for £6 million. So it's interesting that they don't just go out and spend money again. They're looking to bring a loan one in, so that allows them to bring somebody in. To me, it doesn't feel like Brendan Rodgers is completely satisfied with Trusty or Scales. He's tried to bring in Trusty when Scales was playing. Scales is then get back in, so it indicates that he's not too sure, and he needs somebody else to go beside Carter Vickers, who, by the way, is injuries are kind of look like they're catching up a wee bit on him.
Yeah.
So they need another one in, and Simpson Pussy looks like the man that's going to come in. So it's interesting. He's young though, 19-year-old. Man City will probably put some sort of clause, you'd imagine, that he needs to play games or it'll cost Celtic money. So it's interesting to put that on a 19-year-old. But listen, they wouldn't. You got to trust Brendan Rodgers, and having seen him in he's played a couple of games for Man City. So don't play for Man City if you're a bad player. But he's young and he's bound to make a few mistakes. But I'm interested to see him.
Yeah. It's a position you both played. What do you make of it for Celtic? Cameron Carter-Vickers, a number of injuries last season, pre-season as well. He missed most of it.
And Carter-Vickers is for me the most important player for Celtic in terms of that centre-half position. It's who plays beside him, and as Charlie's touched on there, it has been Scales, it has been Trusty. But you need backup. And in Simpson Pussy, I mean, ages for me is really just a number. If you're good enough, you're good enough. And I think the work would have been done there. I mean, look at Cole Palmer, what age was he when he went on loan to Chelsea? And we look at the level. So again, I don't get confused by ages. Be well educated, the boy, but he's coming into a very big football club with huge expectation. It's how you can handle that.
What's the news on Stephen Welsh? Looks as though he's on his way on loan. Like, he needs to go, doesn't he? Plymouth Argyle around?
Yeah, 25-year-old he is. He's got to go. He's not really. He's never going to be a regular at Celtic. Brendan Rodgers has shown that he's not going to start there. He's been a decent enough servant and come in at times where they were struggling in that position and done okay. He's not a huge presence at the back. Young lads come through the system and done okay and had showed a good attitude. He was on loan last year. Michelin in Belgium done okay, so he looks like he's going to move on, and I think that it's best for all parties.
Yang still there. You heard the manager a few days ago saying he's an important member of the squad as things stand. So it looks as though Norwich realise they're not going to get him, probably. Yeah,
they need wingers. Celtic need, I would say, 2 wingers in the door. They're not going to let Yang go if they don't have MD in. So until they get anybody in, Yang's there, and if Brendan Rodgers is saying he's got a part to play, then if he's going to need to start, he's probably going to need to start games, and if they do bring a winger or two in, then be ready to contribute. Jakob
Braham, we talked about him the other night. They've been speaking about him for days. It looks as though the go-ahead Eagles, they want 5 or 6 million. Celtic went in about, 2.5 to 3 million.
That's just one of them. It's going to.
Yeah.
Craig will know better than me in that side of it, but these things will just drag on now. The minute the negotiations start, there's agents, there's clubs, 2 clubs involved. Celtic will want to get them for cheap. The team will want to hold on, knowing what Celtic have played in the past for players, which sometimes go against you. You can see it going right into August, right into the end of the window. This one, I'd imagine.
Craig, a lot of change since we last saw you. Nicholas Kuhn, good money for Celtic, 17 million.
Very good. And again, I guess with the Celtic supporters last season, Kuhn started off unbelievably well, didn't he? The first 6 months was incredible. And then, potentially dropped off a little bit, then was, maybe being questioned about, has his head already turned? And if you're, whether that's true or not, but anyway, Celtic were in a situation where you got an opportunity to make good cash quickly on a player. But like Charlie said, I think the winger situation is something that Brendan will definitely be looking to try and sort out.
We're going to ask you on your first show back this season who's going to win the title. That's coming to you shortly. Stand by. Record this one, Charlie. See who it's going to be.
You'll know the answer then.
Yeah. You know who Barry went for?
I know who Barry
indeed,
went for. Yeah.
And Charlie, you went for Celtic. Barry went for Rangers. Here's the manager. The manager being Russell Martin. Do you know him, Craig?
I don't know.
You haven't, yeah.
I haven't come across Russell Martin before. No.
Did some job at Southampton. Obviously, last season was tough when they went back into the Premier League, but you hear good things about him. The way he likes to play football. What do you think of the style?
I like a winning style.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, it's all about winning football matches. Look, I think he's made some good signings. I think it looks a stronger squad for certain, but you can still see that early days it's work in progress.
Let's hear him speak about the players in general. He was so pleased about over the 2 legs they're through.
From like a psychological and spirit and energy point of view, they'll have so much. They should take so much from tonight, and also like. Tactically and technically with the detail that we were asking from them, the second half was so much better. There's still a few mistakes and the pitch was tough at times for them, but they really stuck to it and showed big courage and composure. Starting with Jack in the second half, he's been amazing over the 2 legs as a goalkeeper, but would have brought his feet in the second half, so much composure. Big John, some big performances. Danilo won't get talked about because he hasn't scored, but he was fantastic, especially out of possession. So, there's lots to work on. There's lots to grow and improve, and I think that's the most exciting thing because it's not easy at the start of the process when we are doing stuff that they've not done before, the players, some of it. So I'm really proud of what they're doing.
Craig Moore?
Yeah, again, like I said, it's work in progress. Jack Butland, to be fair, over the 2 legs, for certain, he made big saves at the right times to keep his team in the match. Probably a couple of players still playing, I think, out of position. Max Aarons is a right fullback. He's been playing on the left. He's probably looked a little bit out of sorts. And also Dowell also is probably playing out of position. I think he's probably more one inside and flooding the midfield there. Probably be a little bit more comfortable. He's certainly not a wide player. There's work to be done. Like I said, he wants to play a certain brand of football. Absolutely no problems with that at all. Rangers just need to be better at it. The inverted fullbacks it's not new. It's people like to make it sound like it's new. I mean, obviously Celtic done it, but I remember Arthur Newman when I played at Rangers a million years ago. Yeah, playing that exact same position and doing exactly the same things. The most important thing with that. You can't afford to cough up possession because then straight away they're at the back too, or you're getting countered. So the importance of receiving the ball, Paul, in a position where you have that awareness of what's behind you, and preferably being side on and being able to face forward and play the ball forward. Rangers haven't nailed that yet. I think when they do invert their fullbacks, there is a lot of bodies in there then because you bring in their players as well, and if the fullbacks aren't used to it, when the manager speaks to Russell about players doing things they're not maybe used to, and it's maybe demanding that coming inside and knowing when to do that. And then when you're doing that, as Craig says, being on the half turn and seeing the pictures on about you, because I know I played at full back and at centre back, and you always try to find yourself against a line or at the back so you can face the play. It's harder to be in there amongst bodies. So when they come inside, it's about knowing where they are, knowing where their passing options are. But the thing for Rangers is they need to they're having possession, I think, in the middle third quite a bit near the halfway line, and they seem to be losing it there. They need to be able to keep it enough to get into that final third, and that might be playing forward a bit earlier, and then that pins a team back, and then you can lock them in with your fullbacks inside, and then they're stuck inside their final third. But
But no, listen, it's work in progress for Russell Martin. There's progress there. The one thing you can guarantee with him, he will stick to his style. He's known for that. He spoke about that since I've known him. How he sees the game, he will stick to that, and the players will have been no uncertain terms what he's after. There is a lot of detail. It will take time for them to understand it, but once they understand it, he won't be all of a sudden changing. And although he did go to a back three last night, which he can do, but that's not changing a style. That's changing a formation. His principles will always remain the same in how he wants to keep the ball and press teams and dominate possession.
Yeah, again, like I says, I think the most important thing for Russell Martin and for Rangers, even in the two games where certainly haven't been at the best, it's the result, and it's being, and Charlie, you'll know this, it's being able to learn while still getting results, and that certainly gives huge confidence and belief, and a far better starting position rather than if we're talking about all these kind of things and they don't get the result, then all of a sudden the pressure is heaped on you.
And that's convincing the players and the fans, I think, because players will look around a changing room, we've all been there, and you go, hold on a minute, is this working? Because you're trying to work it out. The minute you're getting results, people are going, well, it is working because we're getting results, and the manager's then saying to you, look, we're not even 100% yet, here's where we can get better and we're getting results. So then you begin to buy into it. Fans go, well, we're winning games, they just want to see you win games, and then everybody gets on board, and that's why I'm pleased for Russell in terms of getting his results while he's getting his style across.
Going to take some of your calls shortly. 0808 17 17 700. Jimmy's been on already. A Rangers fan saying, guys, don't forget to say Rangers are guaranteed Europa League at
January,
least.
yeah.
So that's a big news, because if they had gone out at this stage, Craig, it'd be European wise and money wise, it would have been a big blow.
Money wise, it certainly would be a big blow. I don't really like the word project, but it's about seeing this team improve so that not only can you perform well in Europe, Paul, but I mean, bread and butter.
Yep.
Domestically, can you go and challenge Celtic? That is what everybody needs to see involved at Rangers Football Club.
Do you think that being in Europe, though, affects that for Russell? Or do you think that you're not going to sit there and say, let's get out of Europe so we can win the league? But I think that it still adds that, especially when you don't have a huge squad. You need to get players in that fit into your way. So I'll be interested to hear if you think that will affect them.
Well, again, I can only go on past experiences, Charlie, and I always felt that I loved games. Training I didn't love, and when the games are coming thick and fast, and the distraction, obviously, of different competitions, for me, it drove standards. It definitely drove standards. But you bring in a good comment in regards to the squad needs to be deep enough, and you need to have players that are willing to stand up and fight every day for the jersey, because once you get it, you don't want to let it go.
Great point. Who's going to be the striker this season? It's never just one striker, but who do you think is going to be? Well, last season,
Daniela's never touching the ball.
I know.
I don't see him ever touching the ball. They're not playing up to his feet. I'm not blaming him.
It was scraps last night.
He's never getting the ball.
Yeah.
It's a hard one.
So far he's sided with Danilo. Dessers has come on, and again he gets a late opportunity at the end of the match there. Where he could score and make things a lot easier. He doesn't, but that's Dessers. But I think what he does do is he occupies central defenders. He keeps them honest. He does get himself in situations. I still think Rangers need another striker. You're talking about you need 2-3 strikers, Paul. I think that are able to be rotated. They won't like it, but that are going to score you 15, 20, 25 goals, and that needs to be every single player that you believe can score that amount of goals, because Rangers or Celtic, the top-ended players, they must be scoring 20, 25 plus.
Yeah. Charlie, Celtic had a similar boat. Different players, I know that, but Ida, we've talked about him a couple of times in the show, but the Celtic fans, some of them are still not convinced, but he still scored a number of goals. He did well, given the game time that he didn't get.
There is similarities between him and Dessers in terms of some of their play outside the box. Isn't always the best, but look at your numbers. I mean, Dessers, so much respect for the guy in terms of just keeps churning it out. The amount of stick he gets, he definitely doesn't get a daily record delivered, does he? He gets some stick, but he just keeps going, which is fair play to him. And he turns up. He's never injured. He's always there. Scores 29 goals, gets his rewards. Ida, I think it's going to be a big year for him. He needs to step up. I've got belief that he will. Listen, there's things in his game. He's still only 24 that he needs to improve on. He's hold up plays. He's bringing people in. But we spoke about it off air. He's always in the box. He's always there to take his chances. As Craig says, he will get chances playing at Celtic. He'll get loads of chances this year, and he needs to step up. I mean, I remember a game at Motherwell. He came on at half time, and he's right in the middle of that box, scores 2 headers. A player that can finish, and I've got a belief this year that he'll finish top goal scorer. But Celtic do need somebody in to challenge him.
Yeah, I agree. Like, so for me, Ida is definitely deserves the opportunity to start to show that he can take and own that position and jersey. I mean, you've got Maeda who can double. I mean, again, Maeda's, as much as he's played a lot of the time as a winger, he is actually a striker, believe it or not. It's not a bad backup one, but again, I still think you need another one.
That's what you need. That's what I think. If that's your plan, then you need another 2 wingers. You need wingers then to fill the positions. You've got James Forrest there, who's a great player. He's not going to play 50 games this year. We know that. He knows that. He'll play his part. But you need another 2 wingers there that are going to be Jota's out, obviously. There's another one that's been spent money on, but he's injured, obviously injured. So, but listen, there's no point in talking about him. He's injured. Get 2 wingers in the building and get assists for Ida for a start.
How different is it going to look for the 2 squads this time next month? September the 1st, isn't it, is the day. You just mentioned there things like the hotline and the phone-ins and all the rest. How did you react if somebody came on and you were listening on the way back from a game or whatever? Not that it would happen to you, Charlie Mulgrew.
Trust me, it did.
How did you, what was the worst? Can you remember?
I can't remember an exact situation, but it's horrible.
Don't give us the name and address. But.
No, it's horrible. If you catch wind of that, you try and get the radio off. Honestly, it's horrible. Or you see, but do you know what was mad? Right, I learned early not to read the papers or not to look online or whatever. Honestly, but definitely when I was there, that's one thing you've got to do as a Celtic or Rangers player. I think you've got to stay away from the papers. And that's me personally. I just could, because no matter how good you played, there'll be that one comment and that'll stick in your mind. So I used to stay away from it, but you would get a feel for people. You'd be in the shops, you'd be out for a walk, and you could just tell. You could tell by people phoning you. I knew people, friends, family. I could tell by the way people weren't phoning me that, oh no, we've been beat for Rangers. People just want to contact you, and it's just because, I don't know if they feel awkward. You just had a feeling when you've been rubbish, you know what I mean, or you've had a bad result. So no, it's so hard when you. But that's part and parcel of playing for Celtic and Rangers, and that's why it's so hard. We spoke about Engels off air. He's somebody that needs to step up this year. He'll be feeling it. He'll be thinking, I've never seen anything like this. I don't care who you've played for. If you've not played for Celtic or Rangers, it's hard to understand the pressure.
That must be so hard. I want to ask you about that next, Craig.
This is the Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Every home is now the home of the Whopper with Burger King delivery.
Let's go! It's the Go Radio Football Show with Burger King back for the new season. Craig Moore back for the new season. Charlie Mulgrew, a recent signing in for the new season as well. Oh, magnificent. He's given me a script here. Listen, I loved that there, the chat about what was it like when you don't want to look at the newspaper, you don't want to listen to the radio, the TV or whatever. Craig, do you remember that when you were playing, what it was like?
Been there. I was having a torrid time at Rangers, and jumping in the car after knowing that things didn't really go the way that you would like, but again, not through lack of effort, desire. Big Derek Johnson, Rangers legend, jumping in the car, and Craig Moore's not good enough, and these kind of things are hard to listen to, they're hard to take, but Rangers and Celtic, if you can't take that criticism and that heat, you can't survive. But Paul, another one, when I was in Germany briefly as well, without looking at the players, and we were down the bottom part fighting for relegation, Borussia Mönchengladbach, I could tell you at training, the ones that had read the newspaper, and by the way, they're a little bit harsher with their scorings over there. You're getting 3s and 4s and stuff like that. I could tell who read papers, like just going out for a training session, because their jaw was banging off the ground. Yeah,
I remember going to Blackburn as well, and that's what it does do. It stands you in good stead, because when I went to Blackburn, I remember the fans were on us. Ewood Park giving us a bit of stick at half time. I was captain, and a couple of lads went, just ignore the crowd. And I'm like, what crowd doesn't need to there? Do you know what I mean? There's about 10,000 there. Was named in there. So it does give you a thick skin, and it sets you up for wherever you go next.
You had a game as well. I'll come back to it in a moment or two. Michael's been hanging on. A Celtic fan, he's dialed 08 17 700. Hi, Michael.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, Charlie.
Good evening.
All right, Michael.
Good evening, Craig.
Hi, Michael.
I'm just thinking about the time when Henrik Larsson was playing against Craig Moore. and the chip over Stephen Kloss in the 6-2 game.
He doesn't remember that
Yeah,
one.
no, I'll tell you why I don't remember it, Michael, because I didn't play that much. There you go. The 6-2, the 6-2s, the 5-1s. There was a season there, wasn't there, where there was a couple of big results in terms of scores and all that. I was down at Palace, mate, but I do remember the goal.
Conterman won it. He megged Conterman won it, and then dinked it. What a goal that was!
Well, that was a decent goal, yeah.
Michael?
Henrik was some player, man. But anyway,
Sure
guys,
was.
I just want to get on to things. I would like to see Josh Brownhill come to Celtic. I'm not really... I think Engels, like Charlie said, he does need to step up, because I think he was missing in the Rangers games. And I don't know so much about him, really. But with regards to that defender meant to be coming in as well, why get a loan in, right, and you've not got an option to buy it? Because the way I look at it, you're back to square one again.
But if you get a season out of him, and if he plays really well, and if he's a Man City player, do you not think, Michael, worth it?
But I heard somebody say to me, a Celtic fan said to me, he says, Michael, there's no option to buy him.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the point to that.
Charlie?
Yeah, well, the point would be to be another centre back, to be maybe the fourth choice centre back, to fight for his place, to see if he can maybe step in and play when Carter Vickers is injured, or when Brendan Rodgers maybe is no too happy with Trusty or Scales, so he can then step in. I don't think you can sign a 24, 25-year-old for a lot of money and have that and have him play that role. So that'll be the thinking, I think. I don't think there'll be a lot of money what to be spent on a centre back, having spent $6 million on Trusty, reported last year. So yeah, I can understand why they would want to bring somebody like Simpson Pussy up. So yeah, it'll be.
I thought they were going to sign that Dutch guy called, is it Haas? Because I think Celtic needs backup for Carter Vickers because he's injury prone. Scales didn't quite do it for me in Europe. Okay in the SPL. Alistair Johnson's a good defender. I like him a lot. I'd like to see backup for him also.
Craig, what do you think?
I think Michael raises a valid point. So when you sign a player who's only on loan and there's no option to buy, I can understand the supporter base singing, well, but there's what's in it for us. I mean, obviously, if that player comes and does extremely well and contributes to a successful season, that's what they then give you, and that's what the hope would be for you, Michael. But I do understand, that sometimes, loan players coming in, how committed are they to the football club if there's not an obligation to potentially buy?
It worked with Paddy Roberts. I know a very different position, but he seemed to love his time at Celtic, didn't he?
Yeah, I think ideally the board would, in Celtic as a club, would like to bring in young players for a low amount of transfer fee, pay them within the budget, and then sell them on. But I think there's times where if the manager needs a player or there's a chance to bring somebody like the boy up, then you need to maybe you need to do it. You can't make profit on everybody. Sometimes you need to fill the gaps and have people ready, especially with the big games that are coming up for Celtic.
Michael, with Rangers getting through last night, so they're guaranteed Europa League football. Any thoughts on it? The start for Russell Martin?
It's a good start for them, Paul. And to be honest with you, that what's his name, Gassama from Sheffield Wednesday, he's a cracking player. That was a peach of a goal, by the way. And you know something? I would love to take Dessers more than Ida, and I would quite happily if Ida went to Udinese.
Would you swap the two of them?
Aye, I would swap them in a heartbeat. Aye.
He's not a fan of Ida. Michael isn't. I was going to say that. If Ida's listening, he'll be like, "Oh no, here's Michael from Liverpool."
So you would take a Rangers player last year that scored 29 goals. You would swap him over for Ida now?
Right, I would. Too right, I would.
Interesting.
Anyone who hasn't heard it, wait a minute. Udinese, they're in. They want him apparently. So Luca's departure, they would like Adam Ida. Sorry, what were you going to say, Michael?
I like Igamane as well.
He's injured.
I don't think we've not got enough strikers, guys. I don't think we've got enough strikers.
I think everyone would agree with that.
We've lost out in that guy called, is it Biscanen, the 18-year-old lad?
There'll be so many different things. Yeah.
But Michael, listen, I think it was a similar situation last season where Celtic didn't really do too much business in the early part of the window. but they did do the business that was required to go on and have a successful season. So I know a lot of Celtic supporters worry about whether or not the players are identified are going to be coming in. And of course, everyone wants them sooner rather than later. But I think Celtic will have their targets and we'll be just looking and playing it, I guess, with the European game and the like. But they'll be ready to go when they need to be, I would imagine.
Michael, you love the green and white. How are they going to do tonight? Hibs against Michelin. What do you reckon?
I hope Hibs do it because I like Hibs as well as a club, you know what I mean? Because I'm originally from Dunbar, guys.
Really?
Yeah. But I used to live in Cardonald in Glasgow for about 13, 14 years.
You keep it quiet, you were from the east. Dunbar, really nice part of the country, apparently. Right, okay. Charlie, what do you reckon for Hibs tonight?
Yeah, I'd love to see Hibs do a job. Michael Gray's done David Gray, he's done a great job there. He's done absolutely brilliant. So I'd love to see them get a result, but it's a difficult game. They're a good side.
So experienced, aren't they?
Yeah, they're good. They spent a lot of time out of possession last week, Hibs, and hopefully they can. If they're going to get through, I think it's going to be really, really tight, and they're probably going to have to nick it, maybe in penalties or with a single goal.
Big crowd tonight, Easter Road. What do you reckon, Craig?
It'd be jumping. Yeah. Look, again, fingers crossed for Scottish football that Hibs are good enough to go through. I think Michelin are favourites. I think, for 2 domestic starts, they've scored 9 goals the last 2 matches. It's a tough test. If Hibs go through this tie, then it'll be a huge result for them.
And Charlie, your old team, Dundee United in action tonight, 1 up. They're in Luxembourg, Una Strassen. I saw a few United fans heading out yesterday.
Yeah, they love it. United, big club. United, they've got used to European success back in the 80s, so the fans love when they get a trip away. I know a few of them that'll be heading over, so they'll be having a few beers, enjoying that trip. You imagine they hope to get a result, but no result in Europe's easy to get.
Not given.
You never are given. Jim Goodwin's a tighter manager that likes to show things up at the back, keep it nice and tight, and build on that. So hoping to get a result.
Do you like the new strip? The stripes?
Yeah, nice.
Quite like it?
Yeah. Nice strip.
Few of them are wearing it. Craig, what do you reckon? United this evening?
If done, look, again, without being disrespectful, against a team from Luxembourg, if they can't get a result tonight, then there's pressure already because it's a job that they should get done. If not, Charlie, just blame the foreigners. Was there not 11 that started this?
One Scotsman. Couldn't believe that.
No, not one.
Morris Malpass will not be happy with that.
Right, exactly. You could name the team, couldn't you? Hamish McAlpine and all that long before your time. Yeah. There were some players. I see Trapanovsky saying, who cares? We're playing for Dundee United. Let's go out and win. Michael, what's your thought? United, they're going to do it?
I hope United do it as well. I remember when Dundee United came to Dunbar and they were sponsored by Bellhaven Brewery, and I met Morris Malpass and Jim McLean and all them, and Billy Dodds and all that. But I like Charlie Mulgrew as a defender. He was a good defender.
Oh, you're a hero, Michael.
Yeah. Whatever happened to him?
I like my favourite. One of my favourite.
Did you say I was quick there? First guy you say I was quick, mate. Cheers.
I liked Big Johan Mjelde and all that. They're my kind of defence. Useful Haran and that.
I don't
you
compare
could
me
only
with
get defenders like that,
What were you going to say? A memory of Charlie Mulgrew?
Oh, I liked him in the green and white. He was good. He's a good player. I like Charlie Mulgrew. He's a good defender.
Cheers, Michael. Thank you.
Michael, thanks so much for your call. 0808 17 700. Be brilliant if they all go through. United and Hibs tonight.
Paul, we need it for Scottish football. I think the more exposure we can get helps clubs when they're looking to recruit, helps clubs when they're looking to move players on. And as a football player, it's a level that you want to be playing at.
Yeah, and if you win the Scottish Premiership, you should be straight into the Champions League, and all this kind of pushes towards the coefficient and everything. So we definitely need it.
Talks going on between Besiktas and Rangers about Ridvan Yilmaz. This keeps coming up.
Yeah.
It sounds as though he'll probably going over the summer, but it's not done yet. Far from being a done deal.
No, but again, I've heard a couple of different things. His number's been taken off him, and then all the speculation in regards to, the rumours. By all accounts, Yilmaz is going to be away. Maybe he's not favouring a return to Turkey. So I guess Rangers and the player and his agent are just being patient to see what's out there.
They're in action today, aren't they, against Shakhtar Donetsk? Yeah. I'm going to ask you, Craig, who is going to win the title That's next.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Try the new and improved Whopper, bursting with flavour and juicier than ever.
Let's go!
Heading towards the weekend. Yeah, the kick-off. We've got Killie against Livingston on Saturday. Motherwell against Rangers at 5:30. And then Sunday, it's Falkirk Dundee United at 2 o'clock. At 3, Dundee against Hibs. And then at 4:30, the flag goes up for the title winners, Celtic, the champions, up against St Mirren. And then Monday night, Hearts against Aberdeen. It's not the best time, Charlie, for it, but I know I said that to you, Monday, special days when you've got the... Who's going to be raising the flag? I think you've got news.
Paul McStay, I think, going to be doing it, aye. What a player.
Yeah. Did you see Paul then as a youngster?
No, well, I've seen clips here, mate. It was just before my time. My hero growing up was John Collins. I loved your number 11 left footer for Celtic, but Paul McStay was just a wee bit before that. Seen clips of him, no family members that absolutely love him, and his brother Willie was my under-18s coach at Celtic. What a guy he was, great family, big association with Celtic, and what a hero, one of the greatest ever Celtic players went in midfield. I think it's Rio Ferdinand famously says he's like the best player he ever seen, or really can inspire them to be a player. So big that.
In another era, he would have won so much, wouldn't he, Craig? Was he just before your time?
No, he was coming to the end. I was coming in. Played a couple of times. Look, football. He was a wonderful footballer in terms of for Celtic and also for Scotland. But always highly thought of. You know, you don't hear anybody have a bad word to say about Paul McStay. Paul McStay lives out in Australia now, which I'm sure a lot of people know. I've spoken to him pretty regularly. Really, really good guy, and I mean, in terms of the unveiling of the flag, someone who has been at a club, loves a football club. I'm sure they'll have a great day. St Mirren will be a tough test. Yeah, it will be a tough test. It'll be full house, it'll be bouncing, but St Mirren are well organised. Yeah, they caused problems last year. It was a draw there. Celtic scored in the last minute. No, they're good. They're athletic. They sit in counter attack, so it's a tough test for the first game.
Craig, it's the first game this weekend. Who's going to win when we get towards the end of the season? Is it going to be tight, whatever it's going to be? What do you reckon? Who can catch Celtic?
Look, I'm going to go, obviously, Rangers.
How do you mean, obviously?
I just couldn't find it in me to say Motherwell or something like that. Look, for me, Rangers, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And of course, there's so much to play out. Rangers, I think, are a certainty to improve. From last season, I think you can kind of see in terms of personnel, it already looks a stronger squad. Now it's up to Russell Martin to make sure that he can get that squad of players to gel together to be dangerous. Celtic will be very, very strong, and you know, they're the champions, so you have to give absolute respect to them. I hope it's a tighter affair. I mean, because I don't want to be talking at January again this year about a season that's already done and dusted. I don't think that's exciting for anybody, apart from maybe the winning team. So, look, I think it should be a lot closer this season. I'm obviously going to go with Rangers, Paul, because I couldn't go with Celtic.
You were a Rangers captain?
Not for very long, but
you were. You captained Rangers. How's James Tavernier? Is he going to be captain, do you think, as the season goes on? By the end of it, is he going to...
Yeah, I think so. I think the signs of... Listen, there's so much that goes about on James Tavernier. And Charlie, you'll respect this and understand this. You can pull the wool over one person's eyes. Not 5, 6, 7, however many managers that he's had. Now, the criticism will be, obviously, defensively not great. Yeah, I get all that. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you're at Rangers, the majority of the time you're attacking Europe a little bit differently. The biggest thing is obviously the lack of success, but that's not purely on James Tavernier. You know, Celtic have been dominant since, the last 20-odd years.
13 out of 14.
Yeah, you know, so it's a collective. It's a collective, and leadership can be shown in many different ways, and he obviously has the backing, the support, the respect on the training ground and what we don't see. But again, then a lot of supporters will only see that game, and you know, they'll maybe see that he's not poking at the referee, he's not getting in people's faces. That doesn't mean that you're a captain or you're not a captain. Yeah. You know, I think what you need is is more like-minded people that maybe will look to put pressure on, pressure on referees, pressure on other players. It's all part of the game, Paul. And Raskin is one of those ones that looks as if he will play that kind of supporting role. But I've always felt that in recent years that Rangers need more of that leading type of mentality.
Yeah, I think that when you look at Tavernier, his leadership skills looking for the outside is somebody that's always there. Similar to kind of Dessers we spoke about earlier. Never injured, trains every day probably, great attitude. Barry's openly said he's always in the gym before and after training. I think the mentality to turn up every single game, between 50 and 60 games a year for Rangers, shows he's a good leader. I just wonder whether time will tell whether the inverted fullback suits him, because I think when he's wide and he's delivering balls in the box, it's perfect. When he's inside the pitch, I think maybe takes away a wee bit of his game. So I don't know, but you always need that. When somebody's inside, you always need the width. So maybe he can be the one providing the width, and somebody can come inside. But it looks right now as if the fullbacks are coming inside, and I don't know if that suits his game, but time will tell.
Because his assists have been huge over the years, and
they all come for balls for wide areas, so it'll be interesting to see.
And that can be a little bit lopsided. I mean, Celtic were lopsided, weren't they? It's more Taylor that come into that role rather than Johnson, and I think that they will need to work on that and be, like I said, potentially a little bit lopsided, because Tavernier's threat is in those wider areas and the great delivery he puts into the box.
So looking at the squad then, for both of you, Max Aaron, do you think he'll come good? He's a right back, as we know, playing left back at the moment. I'm just looking at some of the players that have come in.
Good pedigree. There's no reason why he shouldn't go on, but he's been playing out of position potentially at this moment in time.
Gassama, let's hear Gas. Here's the manager speaking about the goal scorer.
Listen, it is a tough call. It's a tough call to leave anyone out of the team, especially when someone has such an impact from the bench. But we went for consistency and players that have played together more, and Gas is still catching up for sure. And he had such a big moment and impact last week. It took the stuffing out of him. It made him tired, which it would, I think, naturally, because it was so much adrenaline. He had such a brilliant start, and then got some more minutes Saturday where he wasn't as impactful as he wanted to be. And then tonight he's scored a brilliant goal, brilliant finish. So he knows what we think of him. He also knows he has to be patient. And he's more ready to start now than he has been before tonight, so pleased with him. Greg, just 21. What? The fans absolutely love him already.
Well, he's scored two very important goals early doors, and if you need to get off to a good start, that's the type of start fans love him. But the goal last night, technique, that was very, very difficult. It comes at him quickly. To be able to keep that down, it's a fantastic strike. He looks an exciting player, but he's definitely one that looks, he wants to be isolated. Yeah, you need to get him on the ball 1v1, and he's nice and direct, and he's got a trick, and he's got that pace. So exciting and positive start for the kid.
Charlie, what do you think from what you've seen of him?
Yeah, what a start, 2 goals in 2 competitive games, brilliant. Comes inside, and the thing I thought straight away last week when he comes on and he goes inside, drives inside, it looks like everybody's watching, think he's going to go to the keeper's left hand side, and he reverses it and does the keeper, and you're thinking, well, he's got a bit about him straight away. Comes on last night, shows that technique, you're thinking, he looks like a good player. He's young, he's exciting the fans, he's made a great start. It's going to be interesting to see. I just wonder if he's going to be one of the players that always comes on and does well, or whether he's just building his fitness up. Be interesting to see. But what a great start he's done. He's sell no harm. I just wonder if Celtic were having a wee look at him, or they didn't want him. Interesting.
Yeah, wherever the winger situation, you always think that, don't you? When a player signs for either or, it's like whether or not Rangers are in or Celtic are in for the particular player. But the start that he's had and the confidence in football, Paul, is absolutely everything. And for those two goals, 2 really good moments, it could give him a huge lift.
Do you think if he's signing for Rangers and his agent, that side of the game better than me, and his agent's going, right, we're going to Rangers, surely give Celtic a call and go, by the way, Rangers are interested. Yeah. Would you fancy it? Would you fancy doing it?
I'm pretty sure any agent that's producing players to one or the other is actually going to both the clubs anyway. Yeah. I'm pretty convinced of that. Yeah.
Craig, you did that with Dyson Maeda. Well, you alerted Rangers before Celtic.
Yeah, I mean, I got a good lead in terms of Kevin Muscat, who was the Yokohama Marinos coach at the time. The most recent one that's probably happened is Kuhn, Christian Nerlinger, ex-Rangers player. So I'm sure I know he never went to to Celtic alone. It was something that was offered to both Celtic and Rangers, but Celtic took up on the player at the time.
Leon's on. What do you make of? He's a big Rangers fan. What do you make of Rothwell so far? Everyone, they liked him down south at Leeds. He was.
Yeah, look, he looks a really steady, honest player. He screens his back four well. He keeps things nice and simple. I think that particular role, sometimes you may not actually recognise any real happenings within the game, but they're actually so important to the structure. And he comes across as if he's going to be that type of player. He's dogged. He's a competitor.
That's what surprised me, because I played with him and he wasn't that player.
Was he not? No.
He was like a number 10, number 8. He even played wide for us at Blackburn.
Yeah.
But I know he did love, because when we got him for Oxford and we played against Oxford and he was a midfielder, he stood out because he travelled with the ball with pace, and you think it's not often you get midfielders that run with the ball for that deep area. But then the 2 games I've saw him for Rangers, I'm like, he's added that side to his game that you've just mentioned, breaking play up, screening the back four. If he continues on that kind of way of playing and plays the forward passes with that bit of skill to run with the ball, he could really light Scottish football up.
Yeah. And any good look nowadays, majority of it's midfield 3, and okay, you might get your fullbacks come in and join the flood of midfield, but rotation in terms of your midfield 3 is very, very important. So he should have a licence and be able, but especially you're saying, Charlie, you play with him and you understand those kind of qualities, which I'm sure Russell Martin knows. Don't put him in a box just to sit. It's a bit like I think what Barry spoke about with Raskin. He thought he could just be that sitting type of player, but Barry's like, no, there's more. There's more to your game, son. Like get yourself forward and timing of the runs, and then it's about understanding when you make that forward run, someone stays at home for you.
Yeah. Raskin still going to be here this season. And what about Igamani? Do you think he might go?
I think he's. I mean, I'm not sure of the injury, Paul, that he's had that missed the game last night, but. There's enough talk suggesting that Igamani is probably not entirely happy here. If he's here, he'll contribute and do what he needs to do. But seems to be some discussions about trying to get out the door.
Yeah, I think that by the sounds of it, the way Barry spoke and what you see of him, you kind of don't know his position. He seems like a kind of 7-a-side street player, which is brilliant. But when you get somebody like Russell Martin that comes in and has a style of play, and a lot of it is pressing high against teams and using that energy, maybe he's just seen somebody that's maybe not going to do that or be disciplined enough in his position, and where do you fit him in really? He's maybe not going to play the midfield 3, he's maybe not a wide man, and he's not a striker, so maybe there's just no place for him.
It's an interesting one. When you have a manager that is so structured, then for this type of player, it can be a challenge. Another example, Dick Advocaat when he was at Reno Gattuso. I mean, Dick tried to bring Gattuso out from the central midfield out to a right fullback just for structure. But I mean, Reno was a Tasmanian devil. He was everywhere, and that was his game, and continued to be his game. But it didn't work for Dick Advocaat. Russell Martin, Igamani, it might be the same because they like a certain structure.
What kind of season then? Is it going to be? You think Rangers are going to win it? Is it going to be tight, or is it going to be?
I think it'll be tight this season. I don't see a blowout. Like I said, I see improvement from Rangers. I see absolute respect need to be given to Celtic because they know what it's like to get over the line. Hearts and Hibs, Aberdeen. I'd like to see some push from other teams as well to keep it exciting, and they have started to spend some more money and look to strengthen squads, which we haven't seen in Scotland for a long time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Hearts this year. You're hoping the top 2 are obviously tight, and then you're looking for the next 4 or 5 to come behind them and really affect them. You don't expect them to maybe split Celtic or Rangers, but you expect them to, when Celtic or Rangers go to Tynecastle, they go to Pittodrie, you expect the games to take points and compete and make it hard games. So
remember last season for 11-12 games, Aberdeen?
Exactly, it was brilliant, and I just loved watching Aberdeen in that spell. They had a weird season. Then after that, they come on to win a cup, but just having other teams challenging and making it difficult makes it more of a spectacle.
That's our one. Uses next 0808 17 17 700.
The Flame Grilled Whopper from Burger King, the most food-filling burger.
Is it though?
Is that?
Yes, a slightly better version of you.
I don't understand.
Just like the new Whopper that's juicier and tastier than ever before. Same, but hits different. That's my line now.
Oh, sorry.
Whopper never tasted so good. Order now on the Burger King app.
2 days to go to kick off Saturday afternoon. The Premiership is underway. Championship first and second as well. Who's going to win the Championship? Falkirk are up after last year, along with Livingston, and Falkirk kick off their campaign on Sunday against Dundee United. Dundee up against Hibs. Dundee, of course, new management with Elvis, Stephen Presley in charge. Celtic against St Mirren, 4:30 on Sunday. Monday night, Hearts against Aberdeen. And Saturday itself, Motherwell against Rangers at 5:30, the Sky game. And at 3 o'clock, first kick-off, Kilmarnock, of course, with Stuart Kettlewell, the manager, against Livingston. Richard Foster, who was on last night, he's 40 today. You'd want to wish him all the best.
Yeah, I heard him on yesterday. Yeah, happy birthday, mate. I hope you had a good one.
Yep, he was on last night, of course, with Rob.
Yes, yep. And Peter Grant was on also.
Indeed.
Last night. Yeah, I was listening, Paul.
Top two last night, weren't they?
Yeah.
Charlie, 40, that's a long way away still for you, isn't it?
No, a few. Next March is coming, aye. I'm coming for me. Fozzie, I fair play him.
Fozzie, that's what everyone called him, wasn't it?
Aye. I played with Fozzie at Aberdeen, and then he was Motherwell's 18s coach when I was at Hamilton. So I've spoke to him recently on his pro licence as well. Just finished it, so happy birthday, Fozzie.
He's taking us all for a Christmas night out. Yep,
happy days.
It's to the Hydro to see Amy, his wife, playing Amy McDonald in December.
I seen him at Top Golf last night. No, I wasn't there. I just saw the thing. He was behind her, showing her how to swing the golf club.
How's the Golf Channel going, Charlie? Is it ESPN or the Under Threat?
What's that?
The Charlie Mulgrew channel.
There's a recent episode. Get on and watch him. Mulgrew pitched the par.
Slaney,
Kevin Kyle and Slaney. Slaney goes for playing to caddying, to painting the clubhouse on the one sort of 9 holes. So it's interesting. A good watch.
Some more big names.
Some good guests coming up over the next month or 2 months. So it's exciting times.
Not those ones, but coming up. No, I'm kidding.
So did he get
you like
there?
the wind up? No, you said this is some good guests coming up.
Good guests. I will.
They're good as well. Craig, have you been playing any golf?
No, I haven't actually. I mean, I get asked a lot, but I'm just not very good at it. So
near a bar.
I find myself normally in the 9th hole. I've had enough. I'm in the bar. But I've been fortunate enough to play. I mean, the courses here in Scotland are different class.
Magnificent, of course.
Top courses.
I played the Trump in Aberdeen in a pro-am yesterday.
Did you?
Okay.
In the new one?
In the new so Trump had played it with his son the day before. They'd done the opening, so we went to that at night. We had like a opening ceremony thing, and then for the Legends Tour the next day. So it was me, Greg Hutchin, who's a Legends pro. He plays on it for Aberdeen, and 2 amateurs. We played in so I was sitting last. I didn't know where I was so it's like there's like this celebrities or whatever, the ex-players and the celebrities that play in it. There's 24 of us playing in it, so there was like a individual competition. The winner gets like 10,000 for charity. So I didn't know where I was. I hadn't seen a leaderboard all day. I came in, but I knew I hadn't played well. I had a couple of birdies here and there. I came into the clubhouse into the wee cabin. It was interesting getting with the pro with your card. Watch the TV to see what that looks like. So they count it all up and everything. So I go out of the hut and I come back and I say, mate, can you tell me where I'm? Like, I know I'm not winning, but tell me I'm no last. He gets the computer up and I'm sitting in last. I was like, just behind Judy Murray, right? So I'm thinking, oh no, I can't be last because I know the lads are waiting inside. They're going to cane me, right? Griggsy, Scott Brown, Whittaker, the lads, James MacArthur's, a few of them in there just waiting. I know they're going to cane me.
And Judy only started playing about a year ago.
Yeah, so properly. So I'm waiting and them caning me. I said to the lad, he's like, but it's not updated. I just need to refresh it because it's not took your last hole in yet. Right. And I birdied the last. I got a phone a par 5, so I knew it was going to. It shot me right up to 18th. So I went from 24th to 18th. Jumped above Bruni, jumped above Griggsy, jumped above Judy Murray, you name it. I was absolutely buzzing. I printed out the sheet and everything. So I've walked in the clubhouse and all the lads are like, they jumped on it. How did you go? Because they'd last seen the scoreboard as they were walking off, and I was last. And I was like, they're like, you were last. They were laughing. I was like, no. I said, updated. I got a birdie in the last. I also, by the way, closest ever I kept a hole in one 12 inches away from the hole.
Yeah.
So I'm jumping up there, me and my caddie, and I'm like, right, me and you are half in this prize. Not it's obviously a Trump thing, so I think it's going to be a great prize.
Someone inside that.
Buzzing. Got up to the green, you know how the closest to the pin there's like a sheet in it, and the people write their name to see who it is. It's not on the green, so I'm thinking, nobody's hit the green yet. So I got up and I picked up. Somebody had I was 12 inches. How far do you think the winner was for the hole? An inch. An inch. I was devastated. So
what was the prize?
it was a bottle of whiskey. So I was.
I thought it was going to be a week at Turnberry or something.
I was thinking. I dealt with that. I dealt with that. But I loved that as well. Finishing bottom, then get up to collect my closest to the pin would have killed the lad. But listen, what a day, what a play, what a place that is.
It must be.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. It's on the telly, obviously. You know, the last few days.
Wow. I mean, it's been a bit of publicity for sure.
Sure has been.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So publicity is though on the football this weekend. We're going to talk Celtic now. You got your team for.
Yes.
Have you changed it from the other night or nothing's happened? It's quiet for Celtic this week, obviously.
I've made a change.
Okay.
I've put Nygren back out wide. I had him in midfield. I think he's going to. I'm just going to take a chance on him playing wide. Maeda and Ida. So my team is Casper Schmeichel, Alistair Johnson, Carter Vickers, Scales, and Kieran Tierney. Cal McGregor.
Starting with Scales, sorry, yeah.
Scales, yep. Scales is in.
KT.
You're diamond for Simpson Pussy to be in, aren't you? That's
No, you're fine. No, he's not here yet.
Oh, you're not here yet. You're trying to get him in. Atati, Engels, and then I've got Nygren, Ida, and Maeda.
Craig, what do you make of that? Celtic strong.
Yeah,
I mean, there's obviously
strong. I mean, again, the first game of the season's always a tough one, even though it's going to be a big celebration for Celtic. But the most important thing is start the game well, so then it gives your fans the opportunity to really get behind you. Sometimes we've seen these type of games fizzle out a little bit, but that's a strong enough team to go and get a result. Although, like I said, St Mirren, Robbo has them really well organised. They're a big physical side. They compete well. They get a lot of balls into the box, so there'll be a test for Celtic for sure.
It's a big season for Engels, isn't it? So 11. Often people say, Celtic don't spend the money, but last summer they did. Ida, it took so long to get the deal done. I'm not blaming Celtic, but it took ages, and then it was 8-9 million, and then Engels 11 million. What do you feel about him?
Well, I think for me. Domestically, I think he needs to do more, and I say that domestically, the Old Firm game. That's the big game. That's the showcase. That's where real contribution is recognised. In Europe, he was fine. It was almost as if like he really enjoyed playing Europe. It's what he was kind of used to. But again, it's the price tag's not on the boy. But his job, he will definitely be looking to try and have a bigger influence on. On the games throughout the season on a consistent basis. I think it's going to be a big season here for Luke McCowan.
In what way?
I just think he's done well in pre-season games. I've seen a couple of clips, and I've watched the Ajax game and bits and pieces of other games, and I think he's going to step up this year and have an impact. So I think players like Tati and Engels need players like McCowan to push them and add to the squad, because you can't play every single game, and you need somebody behind you that's ready to take your spot.
And that would be, Luke McCowan has done well, but that's quite a jump, isn't it, to really be pushing those players, the Engels.
Yeah, but having been there and settled, it takes time to settle. And I think he's had his time to settle. He's come in, he's showed in flashes. He can have an impact in the game. And I think he's settled now, and he'll look to step up. And you want players that want to play, that don't just want to beat Celtic, don't just want to beat Rangers. You say they're Celtic and Rangers players. You want players that want to step up and have an effect and playing these big Champions League nights, and I think he'll be there chapping the door this year.
Craig, Kieran Tierney, what do you think this season? It's quite a capture, isn't it? The name, he's at a great age.
And he's a great player. Yeah. He's a great player. Obviously, he comes back into a club that he knows extremely well. So he'll be hugely important for Celtic this season. I think on and off the field, because I think now the experience. He went down to London as a young lad. He's very experienced now. So I think that not only in terms of what he'll contribute on a week-to-week basis playing football, but I think around about the training ground and the younger players, and he'll be able to educate quite a few, and a real good profile, I think, to take example from. It's important to have a football club to drive standards. You know, like you can win a lot of trophies, and sometimes it can fall a little bit flat, Paul. Although it's taken some time for Celtic because they've been winning for a long time.
That prayer mat you've got is worn out.
Yeah, but you know, it's like you need change. You need freshness every single season. I've always said it. 2 to 3 starters coming into any team is of vital importance because it keeps you striving, pushing, motivated to keep moving forward.
Charlie, what are you thinking? Kieran Tierney, excited?
Yeah, brilliant signing. He'll drive the standards in the changing room. He's like having another captain in there to kind of lead things and demand for players, and he's got that experience, that respect for the level he's played at. So now you're getting him in his prime of his career. The question marks are over his injuries. I think with the intensity of the Scottish game not quite being high as high as it is in the Premier League, but also there's a lot of games, so you won't play all of them. You're wondering who's coming in to kind of back him up, but I think he'll be a huge player this year.
Did you teach him everything? Was he a young lad at Celtic?
Aye, he came in to train. Aye, what a guy.
Was he hopeless at the beginning and you showed him? It's an amazing story.
Technically he was a little bit to cell. He was very average technically on the ball when he first came in, but he showed an attitude and intensity, the way he trained, the way he closed down in boxes, the way his appetite and the way he wanted to be there, and he didn't care who it was. He was smashing people in training, and you thought, I like him, although sometimes it was you and it annoyed you a bit. But I didn't mess about. But you knew that he's a guy. You also know he's a guy I want beside me on a Saturday. So you think that young lad can play, and it comes to game time, you want him beside you. And listen, he's been absolutely brilliant. It's great to have him back. Great when he first came in the team. I think he was, if I remember rightly, he wasn't getting a game for the B team or the reserves at the time. Yeah. And it was John Collins who saw something in him and Ronnie Dylan, and they brought him up to train, and his intensity, they were huge on intensity, and that was his main attribute. He was proper. I remember Ellie Dolzo, we played like a 5-a-sides tournament indoors, and he broke his leg. He broke his leg, and it was like, devastating. 6 weeks later, he was back playing right at it. Shows his attitude and his determination, and some players would just say, it's unlucky and it's not my time and all that stuff. But no, what a guy.
And he will drive standards.
Yeah, mate, look, he's a competitor, and that's his real strength. In terms of his desire, his hunger, his willingness to do everything for the team. And Paul, you can have talent, and Charlie, you would have seen it throughout your days and all that. But that mindset, that mentality, that ruthlessness, for me, that overshines talent at times, a lot of the time, in fact, because it's reliable. It turns up every single week.
If I could give one young player one attribute, it would be resilience. To have resilience and that mental strength to come back for failures like Kieran Tierney done with his broken leg is the one thing I think that gets you a career in the game. Because when I look back in my tire at 37-year-old, you think there was never a smooth time wherever it was great and it all looked great. For the outside, people see that the good parts of it and winning games, but there's a lot of sacrifice and hard work and times where you've been dropped and injured and having to fight for your place. And that's the one thing I would sort of give a young lad coming through, and that strength to keep going, and KT showed that. So great to have him back. What a lift for the fans and for himself, knowing what it means to him, and he'll be determined to make it really successful.
Mark Guidi bumped into him on holiday, and he said he's absolutely buzzing coming to Celtic. And sometimes when people go south and they say, I'm a Celtic fan, a Rangers fan or whatever, but at 27 coming back. And I think also because he didn't play as many games as he could have. Yep. In the last couple of seasons under Arteta, he didn't. He could have played more. I mean, they were tipping him to be captain three years ago. Yep. But you sense that he's desperate to come back and looking forward to it. Craig, the hard times, you had some tough times as well. Yeah. Charlie's saying there, people look at it and young people look at it and think, this must be amazing. The fancy cars, the glamorous wags and all the rest of it. And it's a great life. But behind it, did you find times where it was tough?
Yeah, absolutely. Because as Charlie mentioned there, it's not, the perfect career, there is no such thing, whereas you're never dropped, you never have an injury, you never potentially move from club to club, which could be another country. and one thing you definitely do have to be is resilient to be able to enjoy the good times, which maybe we don't when we were playing because it's already this next game, it's the next session. But it's about being consistent. It's about being consistent. And like I said, try to stay away from the noise as much as you possibly can because that's only a distraction. That's only a distraction. Keep your head down, work hard. And when you're given an opportunity, you're talking breaking through as a young lad and all that sort of stuff. Go and grab that shirt and give the manager something to think about. Okay, that doesn't mean you're going to be starting every single game. So, for example, look at Finlay Curtis. Mm-hmm. Well, what an impression he's made. And again, he's not the most gifted footballer, but I tell you what, his attitude and his mindset, his willingness with and without the ball is going to stand him in a really, really good position. Just because of that, that mentality.
I think James Forrest is one that also, as soon as you mentioned that there about keeping the head down and focusing and getting on with it and not listening to the noise, he's been Celtic's most decorated player because of that. Great ability as well. Obviously, that goes alongside it. But when you speak to him about his failures, and he's just riddled with failures, and you go through anybody's career. There's failures here. There's 100% anybody that's got anywhere has had to go through some tough times. So, no, it's definitely the one thing that you need.
Did you manage to enjoy it, Craig?
Yeah. I mean,
you did. Do you know what I mean? The moments.
But absolutely. There were some great moments. There were some painful moments. But the best moments was like just going with a group of people that ended up feeling, I'm talking about majority of the time at Rangers because that was where the largest part of my career was. Yeah. Like brothers, you know what I mean? Like got to really, it was a family kind of club, and we done a lot of things on and off the field together, and to kind of go to war every single weekend, and to go and get results, and it was at a good stage, I guess, in terms of Rangers. Slight changes in terms of maybe the successes.
It's a massive change now.
Yeah, but like I said, I could have had the worst day in the world away from football, and all of a sudden I go into the training ground, and I forgot about everything else. It just brought new energy, new life.
I loved going to training.
So that's the only part I miss. Yeah. Not the training, but the dressing room.
Yeah, I loved driving every single morning to go and train. It was like get a coffee, head in, see the lads, get a laugh, and then you're training. You keep yourself fit. So that brings happiness. Obviously, you train hard. It's no fun in games during training. Some of my best mates in the game, we had some serious arguments on the training field. Like things, tackles and chats and stuff you said to each other for no pass the ball. Half an hour later, you're sitting at lunch together and you're laughing about it. It's only an industry that must. I can imagine it's like that. I can imagine it's the only workplace as well where you live your life in a glass bowl. You're constantly judged, people judging you in every single move you make. Yet you absolutely love it. It's an amazing place to be. Amazing. But waking up on that Saturday morning, knowing you've got a game's a.
I thought because the whole week
comes
to that.
I know, and then I don't know how you felt, right? And I've spoken to players about this, kind of on my golf channel and that as well. It's a question I like to ask. How did you feel on a Saturday morning when you woke up? And I used to feel sick.
Yeah.
I was hot. Honestly, I used to be like, oh no, here we go. It's the amount of pressure.
Nervous energy is what it is.
Real nerves. Because I remember when a game used to get cancelled, I would be buzzing. And I remember the whole changing room would be buzzing, and it'd be like, this is mental, because, and it was almost just relieving that bit of pressure for a bit. But then see when you won or you played well, it was the best feeling ever. Amazing.
Yeah, I used to always wake up tired. I never had a good sleep leading into a game. Whether you're visualising or you're kind of hoping things are going to go well on the particular day, would always go in tired. For a large part of my, I felt as if physically walking out for the match, I could be sick physically.
Could you?
Yeah. So again, not going to see anybody, but deep breathing, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And amazing, like whenever the whistle went, the first, I was brand new.
Boom.
I was brand new, but it was just, it's nervous energy.
Yeah.
It's nervous energy. But you know what, Paul? Everyone's different. So, I see a lot of the boys maybe listen to music. I used to like to get ready like really, really late, because I didn't like to be thinking about the game until I was out there. And then I was confident enough with the preparation. But yeah, the nerves are good, because it means that you know that there's something on the line every single game, and there's expectation. You want to go out and do well. I think nerves are a good thing. Players that aren't nervous, I'm like,
Yeah, I remember I seen a guy come into Celtic, a psychologist guy, and he had a couple of bits of advice for us.
How did that go down?
It was funny. He had us in a room. He got everybody in, the staff all in a room, the chefs, everything. And he got somebody to stand up and do an example. And it was Mo, the chef at the time. She stood up and he made her put her hands out to the side. And he tried to push her hands down, told her to resist. And he couldn't get her hands down. Then he put a fag in her mouth and he managed to get her hands down. So he's like, don't put anything, coffee or anything bad to your mouth and all this stuff before games or before training or whatever. And always remember, he said, if you have a negative thought before a game, which that's what fear is, isn't it? When you wake up in the morning, you go, oh, what if this goes wrong? Or what if I give the ball away? What if this happens? It's these thoughts are going through your mind. She's like, if you ever have that, say delete. I remember before games, like just going in the change room, delete. Like, do you know what, myself, like thinking, it's mad now when I think about it, I would deal with it completely different. I would be like, I would embrace it and understand it's normal that every player's probably feeling this way, and what's the worst that can happen? Listen, can you give the ball away? Will you get booed with 60,000? Will your injury happen? All this is possible. How am I going to deal with it? Let's just go. What's the worst that can happen?
And the best advice I could give any player now, you're going to make mistakes, but the quicker you forget about that mistake, the better chance you've got of doing well. You've got to forget it straight away.
Yeah.
Delete, but not us. We're back. The Go Radio Football Show in a moment.
This is the Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Every home is now the home of the Whopper with Burger King delivery.
Let's go! Go Radio Football Show. Craig Moore is back after a summer trip to the east, the Far East, and also to the Middle East. Looking for new players,
got to visit a few clubs as well on my travels, Paul. So it was good. It's always good to see how things are done in different parts of the world, which has always been something I've done because of my background. Al Aina went out and visited in Dubai. What a fantastic setup they've got! Oh my God, resources like just their training facility and their stadium. It's like something you'd expect in the Premiership.
Are people going to start watching them in big numbers, do you think, in the Middle East?
I think for sure. I mean, obviously leading into 2034 World Cup, in terms of Saudi, there's not a short-term vision behind what they're looking to do there, Paul.
You've come back. Rangers had a great result last night. It was tough, but it ended up 1-1. Here's the manager afterwards.
I think my job as the head coach here is to always want more from the players. So, like, really pleased with tonight that we qualify, but I have to want more in terms of the performance and what we're doing, and we have to be better. So I said to him, I'm so proud of them, but we have to get better, and we will get better. I really believe that. But we are here at a football club that demands we try and win every game we play in, and it's part of the reason why we're all here. So we will give it our very best shot and attack it as best we can and see where it takes us.
So Craig, that's last night. Pilsen on Tuesday, but before that they've got the trip to Motherwell, and it's quite a game, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's
Motherwell new manager.
Yeah, new manager. Again, first game of the season away from home is always difficult. Fir Park, tough place to go, although the surface is normally top notch, which gives any team an opportunity. But yeah, Rangers need to certainly be up for it and find the energy after the exertions last night. Will there be a couple of changes? I would imagine so.
Going to ask for your team in a moment or two.
I would imagine there'll be some changes there. But again, you want to start well, because you can start to then build and get that momentum. Any slips day one just makes the challenges a lot harder.
He was asked about a player that Rangers fans haven't seen as much as they thought they would last season, Kieran Dowell.
He took the ball well for us. He out of possession pressed like a beast. He's so reliable. Set pieces, he did a big job for us tonight. Defensively, a big job. And he's a really good footballer. And I think we've come in with a clean slate, and I hope people are seeing what he brings right now. He's not his most natural position, for sure, but he's doing a brilliant job for us out there. And he's been great since we come in. As a person and a character and the way he trains, he's been fantastic. And we'll see what happens. There's lots of players who maybe thought their future was going to be elsewhere, or maybe they thought it was going to be here, and things can change very, very quickly in football. So whilst he's here, we've been so happy with him, and I hope he's part of our squad. I really do. But obviously, things can change in football quickly, and I'm not sure what. I hope Kieran's enjoying it. You'd have to ask him, but he's been really good for us.
Wow, Charlie, he was booked last night. It was kind of needless, wasn't it? But we didn't see that much of him. What do you feel?
Listen, if Russell's saying he presses like a beast, I think that's probably the main reason why Igamani's not featuring much. So that would indicate that he likes him. He trains every day really hard, which can't be underestimated, because that sets a standard. He's leading well, he's good about the changing room. So he's a manager, he needs to make the decisions. We sit here and see a player that's playing out of position. I know Russell said that there. So interesting to see how he comes along this year then, and potentially sees him having an impact in the squad.
Yeah, I think so. Previously, when we've seen him, he looked as if a player was who was really short on confidence, and maybe didn't have that support or love from a manager as such. But what I can say, Paul, is when you do get that backing from a manager and feel that support, you can grow another foot taller. You know, and they're the words there from Russell Martin are very, very positive. For me, I still feel as if he's a little bit vanilla. I think that I'm trying to think what he does really well is what I'm trying to say, and I see a good steady pro, but touching on in terms of his work rate off the ball, which in terms of the way that Russell wants to play, that's really important.
He's had some big moves. He's down south. He's keeps seeming to get good moves. By all accounts, he done well at Birmingham last year, but I've never really seen it in him. Same as you, I don't really see what he brings. But interesting to see this year if he does step up for Rangers and become that player that can be relied upon. But I don't see him as a winger at all. So again, where does he fit in? Does he fit in that midfield three, or is there going to be maybe two sitters sometimes, and he can be the 10? But I think, by the sounds of it, Russell, him hearing what Russell Martin says there, and he'll take huge confidence for that. I'm sure he's told him he'll be feeling that, and it'll be interesting to see.
And that makes the player feel, as you said, so much better. Is he in your team for this weekend for the Motherwell game?
Yeah, he is. Do you want me to?
Please, yeah.
So the back four, I've got the same. You bring Jefty in at left full back instead of Aarons, but I don't think Jefty's great defensively. So back four the same, midfield three the same.
The Tavernier,
Suter, Giga, Aarons,
yeah.
Rothwell, Diamande, Raskin, midfield three, and I'm going for a front three of Gassama, Dessers through the middle, and Dow. Would I be surprised to see a Connor Barron potentially come in? No. But that's a starting 11 I'll go with.
So Danilo and Curtis on the bench? Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Gassama's almost got to start, hasn't he? Or do you remember it was David Fairclough years ago, and he was the super sub at Liverpool? Do you remember that?
I'll tell you who else was a super sub?
Who?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Of course. Yeah, the ultimate almost. You're right. Yeah, for Man U.
Torre Andrew Flo.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, look, I mean,
12 million.
That's all. Look, Gassama's. You would like to think he's obviously grown in terms of the impact that he's made and the training that they're doing. Surely he can start a game now.
Yeah, you'd expect him to probably come in when you can get a start eventually. At least 60. Now he's come on and done the 30 minutes. Usually you start to look at 60 minutes. So you might look to get him in, get him 60 minutes. See how he goes. I think Curtis could maybe get a chance. Again, I think he might get involved, but for the start we'll see.
So the manager said the start of last week when you were away, he said, but the team that we play just now will look different in a month's time, just over a month at the end of the transfer window. Where do you see them strengthening then in the next 4 weeks? Another striker you mentioned earlier on. I mean, Igaman might leave.
I think sometimes you get caught in a holding pattern, waiting on players getting out the door.
Barry did say on Monday night on with Charlie, he said, I don't think they need to sell anyone at the moment. They'd like to sell, they've got too many players, but he doesn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, again, left full-back position, so there's been speculation about Yilmaz. Is Jeff Dick cut out for it? You're playing Aaron's out of position. Look, I don't know. I would always like to see three strikers, so...
I think Aarons might play in that left back position because I don't know then what would he do with Tavernier? Do you know, would you move him if you get a left back in?
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, Tav's already shown again enough to keep his position.
Yeah.
And when you bring in Aarons, I agree. I think he will play left fullback. You don't need Jefty and Yilmaz, so potentially one of them will be shifted. Lot more than likely Yilmaz. The pointy end is where, I mean, I know we were defenders, Charlie, but the pointy end is the 100%. Difference. Is the difference to change games.
I think they need strikers. They need a striker or two, and they need wingers. Similar to Celtic, maybe another winger.
Mikey Moore was mentioned. I don't know whether that's been done. Mikey Moore,
it was
young
close
player
early in the week. That's true. Yeah.
And again, there's been different sort of like takes on that. Finlay Curtis, why prevent his development? Who's come in, and then at the same time, 17-year-old Mikey Moore, who's a real talent. Again, age is just a number. So again, I think they potentially will look at a wider area. If we've got Dow playing out of position there than now, then maybe that kind of position, a wider type of player, again, Rangers could look at.
And John Suter over the summer, I think some people thought he'd be leaving. Craig, he's got a year left in the contract.
Yeah, look,
but the manager's playing him.
Yeah, and I don't know where John potentially goes next. If I'm honest, Paul, I think he's a really good player. If he stays fit and healthy, I think he defends well enough. The next level for him, I'm still uncertain. He seems a good, like I said, seems a good character, seems a good pro. Needs a little bit of luck, a little bit like Carter Vickers. I know he's had a decent run, but he has had injuries. But I see him staying longer term at Rangers rather than potentially moving on.
Who excites you in the Rangers squad? Raskin? Is that maybe not the adjective?
When he boots somebody up in the air, that excites. No, I mean, for me, again, just from the Gassama obviously excites me, but what pleases me is seeing a young lad like Finlay Curtis getting an opportunity and taking it, and again, I think that's important. I think a lot of time, not just Rangers, I think all clubs overlook their own talent coming through the academy ranks.
Well, that happens so much in Scotland, doesn't it? Maybe it happens everywhere, Charlie.
Yeah, it does. Yep. It's definitely in Scotland. Having come through here and played a lot of time here, it definitely does happen here, and it's because you need an opportunity, but there's so much pressure to play for Celtic and Rangers that straight away, do you put Finlay Curtis in away to Motherwell when you need to win a game, and it's. But they need a chance. They need somebody to trust in them. They need somebody to push with players like Kieran Tierney and James Forrest and players that have come through in recent times. They need their opportunity to step in. But then when they step in, they need to take their opportunity because they won't get 5-6 games to bed themselves in. Yeah. They need to be in a winning team. Sometimes it's not even been brilliant. It's about being in the team that's won and gaining the trust of the manager to then, when you do play well, you can then stay in the team and play and become a regular. But no, it's hard to break through Celtic and Rangers. So, as I say, you need a manager to trust in your ability.
Jordan's on. He's a Hearts fan. 0808 17 17 700. Saying, guys, you mentioned there about who's going to come third. Who do you reckon? And can it be with the Tony Bloom money coming in, Craig, that maybe it'll be Hearts this season? Because most people last year said it'll probably be Hearts, and then they were bottom of the table after a couple of months.
Yeah, well, look, they've got themselves a very experienced manager in Derek McInnes. It'll be interesting to see how the data works for them in terms of the recruitment that would have been done this season. I was quite happy to hear Tony Bloom saying that, we actually want to go and challenge and disrupt the top two. I can't remember the last time that someone has been so bold, and I like that.
Romanoff.
Romanoff probably, which is early 2000s, was it? Or maybe
it was. Yeah.
So that at times, Paul, can put a little bit of a target on your back. But and I'll be interested to see. Hearts are very strong. I think third position is definitely within their grasp, but they'll be looking to push for more.
I'm going to say Hibs. I'm going to say Hibs. I like the look of Hibs. I like David Gray and what he does. I saw him a couple of times last year. And I think they've got a clear kind of style on how they play the game. Get the ball wide, get the ball in the box. I love the signing of Josh Mulligan. I think he was close to going to Rangers. Hibs managed to get him. So, I think Hibs will do it again.
Kieran Bowie as well. I'm expecting a decent season from him. He looks a promising player. He can handle himself. He's got presence and can score goals.
Fellow countryman of yours, But
I tell you what, funny enough, but you say that, Paul, because he did work with a fellow countryman, John Brady, at Northampton Yeah, so I've spoken to John Brady about Kieran Bauer. By the way, he was very, very positive about the type of career he can have.
And what about Aberdeen? Are they going to be in one of your old clubs?
Jimmy Tilleen, he's where you're from, isn't he?
On you go. Keep going.
No, Aberdeen. Again, they done brilliant. They had a weird season last year, didn't they? They had like
started 16. Was it 12? Or they had an unbelievable start, didn't they?
Like 12
Undefeated.
games they won. Then they went 12 games. I think 16 undefeated. They never won in 16 or something. Madness. But then they went on to win the cup.
Yep.
So after a first half in the cup, where they were like they never swung a punch, and then they went out the second half and they managed to get a result. What an amazing season it ended up to be. So listen, huge club. The fans demand success up there. They'll be looking for third place. They want to build on that cup success. So it'll be interesting to see how they go next year.
Defensively, it'd be interesting to see, Charlie. I felt defensively at times. I think the cup final they maybe go to 3 at the back, or I'm not sure in terms of the cup final against Celtic. But central defenders, I thought lacked gears, pace. Sometimes when you get caught isolated, you still got to be able to match. And I felt for a large part of the season, Aberdeen weren't great at that in terms of the centre of defence.
Yeah, they weren't strong. They felt like they were easily kind of conceded goals. Never had that kind of solid two defenders that kept clean sheets and defended well. They seemed to start well, but then that kind of went away. I think the strong areas of your team have got to be your centre backs and your striker. Your strikers have got to be scoring goals and getting assists, and your centre backs have got to be keep.
They're losing one, aren't they? I mean, again, it's only speculation at the moment. Is it Papagay? Papagay.
Yeah.
So again, he was a bit of a handful, although he didn't play consistently last season.
But he was brilliant in the cup final. He came on and completely changed it. Just held the ball in and was brilliant for them. So
and he crocked Hatate the week before in the league game. Remember?
Yeah, he did. He was actually lucky to stay on.
Charlie was saying the other day when Celtic went ahead, they almost expected to win the cup. I haven't seen you since. Do you think they?
I think when you win that amount of times, that's what I felt. I felt like they scored in a cup final. If you put it in black and white, they scored in a cup final, and they could have jogged back to the halfway line, which I was surprised about. But I think that just shows you how dominant Celtic have been because they expected to win the game.
Well, I think, and Charlie, you'll appreciate this. I mean, Celtic normally when they went up in a game, then it was the foot was on the accelerator and bang bang, game dead. See when you don't finish a game 1-0, you're always in with a sniff.
Yeah, 100%. I think they had to finish that in the first half and then kick on the second half, and then no longer it went 1-0. They bring on their subs, the game changed.
Sure. Predictions for the weekend next.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. New and improved Whopper. Now with fluffier buns. The Whopper never tasted so good.
Let's go!
Charlie Mulgrew and Craig Moore with me, Paul Cooney. Tomorrow night, Barry Ferguson and Mark Guidi will be here as we head into the weekend. Rangers fans really happy with last night, well, with the result. Maybe not the performance, but look, Craig, I said to you earlier about style of play, and you said just win.
Winning style, again, it's great that you can get a result, Paul, and still know that there's improvement to come, and that's the situation that Rangers find themselves in. And they're guaranteed European football now until January, which is fantastic.
The Czechs are in town on Tuesday night. It's not quite Champions League music time yet, but they're into the second qualifiers. And if they go through over the next 2 weeks, then they go into the third round. Celtic come in then as well, which I agree with you, Charlie. It's a shocker that the champions don't go automatically into the tournament.
Well, it's not the Champions League, is it? In terms of the way it was, where it was winners of leagues. Changed now. Money.
And Rangers shouldn't have to do 3 qualifiers either. Finished second. It should be 1 for the second and straight in for the first.
Sort it out. Charlie Mulgrew, Craig Moore. Yeah. You heard it here. Who's going to win tonight? Prediction time. Right. Let's go Hibs first. Midtjylland against Hibs.
I think it's going to go to the wire. I think this one potentially could see extra time. I don't think Hibs will push through, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong.
Big crowd, could be the biggest crowd I think in European football for them. Full house, Charlie. It's good. Did you like playing at Easter Road?
Yeah, great stadium, lovely with that new stand.
Isn't it?
It's a lovely stadium, lovely place to play. I think they're out tonight. I think they're going to go out. I don't want to see that. Don't want to be that guy, but that's what I think tonight. I'm really hopeful they go through. Be delighted if they do. But I think they're going to lose tonight 2-0.
2-0. And of course, they thought they weren't going to be in it because everyone thought Aberdeen wouldn't win the cup, but they did. Yeah. And good luck to them in the cup. What do you think for your old team, Dundee United, tonight?
I think they'll win narrowly. I think the manager likes to keep clean sheets. He's big on that. Jim Goodwin. So I think that they'll keep a clean sheet and they'll win 1-0.
1-0, so they go through 2-0 overall. Craig, what do you reckon?
I would be extremely disappointed if Dundee United didn't go through and get the victory tonight. I think 2-0 for Dundee United tonight. And
that would be good for... Did you enjoy your time at Dundee United?
I loved it, I loved it. I obviously started my career there. I went on loan for Celtic to there when I was 19, 20. And then I came back and finished my career there, so it was good. Loved it there. Great club. Demand a lot of the supporters, and unfortunately it ended, but that was my cue to kind of retire for there, 37-year-old, but no regrets.
0-0 at half time for Dundee United, so early kick-off there. Yeah.
I've gone 2-0, 2 second half goals, bang bang.
It could be, exactly. Yeah. The weekend, so we kicked off. So what about on Saturday? We talked about the Rangers game, Motherwell Rangers. What's going to happen Saturday night?
I think that Rangers are going to get off to a winning start. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's a bit of an arm wrestle. 2-1 to Rangers.
2-1 for Rangers. What do you think,
I just
Charlie?
wrote 2-1 there.
You have done.
I've just wrote 2-1 Rangers.
Yeah. So Rangers haven't started well. I think in games recently, haven't they?
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see Rangers in the league. I'm interested to see because teams, it'll suit teams to sit in against them.
Yeah.
What teams will do that, I think. I'm hoping more teams press high up the pitch for goal kicks and that this year to kind of put them under pressure to see how they deal with that. But it'll be interesting to see when teams then filter back into their half, how Rangers break them down and then how they deal with the counter attacks, because there's certain teams in the league with powerful strikers that'll wait for that opportunity. And if you go 1-0 down against these teams, it's hard to come back. So I'm interested to see Rangers, and especially away games in Scotland.
And that's one of the games. Barry did say the Motherwell game, for example.
Yeah, well, it was a disappointing one, wasn't it? Yeah. Because, by the way, they did not trap out all that day. For whatever reason, they just looked they were miles off of that day. Paul, what I hope to see from Rangers in terms of this season, and I know schedule's quick and it comes fast and all that, I hate seeing too much rotation. Because, Charlie, as a player, there's nothing worse. You're in for 2 games and you're out.
Yeah.
In for 2. I think you get into a good rhythm as a player by playing regularly.
100%. I just like to keep playing in Europe and in the league. I just wanted to keep playing games because I just felt fitter. I needed. I don't know if it was because I was tall or whatever. I think I needed like 3, 4, 5 games to get myself into speed, and then I felt like I just stayed in that rhythm. If I came out for a game, maybe it was psychological or whatever, I felt as if I had to get myself going again. So I like to stay in and play.
Charlie,
even though I was felt sick when I woke up in the morning.
Kelly against Livy, what do you reckon?
Kelly against Livy, 1 each I've got here. I think that'll be tight. I think that'll be a tight game. 2 teams feeling each other out. Livy back in the league. I think they might struggle this year, but 1 each I think it'll be.
Both teams were teams that the Old Firm found difficult to play against over the years. What are you thinking?
Well, both of them over the years, but you know what? I'm gonna go Livingston away win, right? And I know in terms of they've come up and look, just listening to bits and pieces from David Martindale. If he's going to go down, he's going to go down in a way that's still trying to go and have a go and play and be.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to seeing that style because he has said that a few times now that he wants to play and keep the ball and have possession. So, I'm interested to see what that looks like.
Because you know that again, Stuart Kettle at Kilmarnock, they're going to be nice, well organised.
Yep.
How much opportunity is created, I don't know. Livingston for me, Paul.
Livy 2-1, is it?
I'll go 1-0.
1-0. Okay. What about Falkirk, Dundee United, Craig? So the Bairns up there.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bairns home win.
Are you?
Yeah. Dundee United, not necessarily squad-wise deep enough to do Europe and domestic football.
Charlie, you've been torn here. What do you think?
I like Falkirk. I love their style of play. Love how they've stuck to their guns for a few years now, and I think that's the reason they are where they are. I think they're going to get the top 6 this year. I think the excitement to be back in the league. I think they're going to win that game 2-1.
Dundee against Hibs. What do you feel? Hibs obviously in action tonight.
Hibs will win that game 2-0.
Right. After the European game?
After the European game, I think Dundee have struggled a wee bit. I think Stephen Presley's openly said that the team are going to take time to get to know his style, and
huge change.
The sounds coming for there is that it might take a wee while to kind of settle there. So I think 2-0 Hibs.
I'm on the same, 2-0 to Hibs.
2-0 Hibs. Celtic Flag Day against St Mirren. Craig, you first. What do you feel? St Mirren, big team. We know that. They always make it tough.
No, they do. I think that it's a game that Celtic will win. I'm going to go 2-0 for Celtic to get off to a winning start.
Do you want to give us one of the scorers at least? Just given that we're... Is it Ida or...
I mean, Celtic supporters won't care what I say, but I think Ida can score.
Okay.
I think Ida can score.
Charlie?
I think Celtic will win 3-1.
And Ida is getting off that.
Ida will score a header.
Maeda. That's good. Yeah.
Maeda will be in amongst it in the mix as well. Yeah. Couple of goals, Maeda. Ida will get 2, get off to a start.
Hearts, Aberdeen, Monday night. 2 of the pretenders,
Hearts to win that 2-1.
Okay, Hearts would win it, you reckon?
Yeah,
Under Derek McInnes.
I fancy Hearts at home as well to get over the line. 2-0, 2-1. Take it. One of those, but Hearts winning.
Looking forward to the season?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm always excited about the start of the season. So many new players. First weekend's great because you get a closer look at those players.
I can't wait for it. Buzzing for it. It seems such a long summer when there's been no football, so that'll be good.
A lot's going to happen though in a month, isn't it? This time next month it'll be the transfer window will just about be closing, and
I think there'll be a few signings coming in between now and the end of the month. There needs to be both Celtic and Rangers need signings in, and big signings to make impacts, and I think that's going to be the case.
Both teams,
both teams are going to get a few in. Forward players hopefully excite the league. Let's see some good forward attacking play in this league, and players that can score goals and excite.
Agreed. I think there's business to be done by both clubs. A lot of people, I guess, are happier when the window closes because then they know what's there and to focus on, but there's still some movement.
Ross has been on listening in LA. He loved the chat about you felt sick in the morning, the disappointments. Craig, you said
he was delighted when the game was cancelled.
Buzzing, absolutely buzzing.
The fans felt sick when he said, "No, I'm the team sheet off." No,
I've had that. Don't worry about it.
I remember well, actually, I woke up in the morning, didn't think we were playing, went to Ibrox, and hadn't been in the team. And next minute, Neil Lennon names the team like an hour and 15 before kick-off, and I'm in the starting 11. He used to name the 11 players, and I was like, oh no, I was in that first 11 now. Ibrox. Instantly fell sick, out to see the pitch, and I ended up winning 2-0, and I played well. And it was the start of my getting back in the team and getting a run of games. So, listen, it's normal. It's just these things. These things sometimes don't get spoken about. I think a lot of players must feel the same. We're human beings. We're getting judged off 60,000 fans, and you're having to go and compete. No matter how good you are or how experienced you are, it's hard. But you go and face it, and you always feel better after it.
Guys,
if you play well and you're not getting caned on the radio.
Thanks a million. Did you feel sick before the programme tonight? Nah, you were in good form, both of you. Craig, back next week.
Yes, Paul.
Charlie, back on Monday.
Yes, Monday. See you, Paul.
See you then. Barry's here tomorrow night along with Mark.
This is the Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Every home is now the home of the Whopper with Burger King delivery.
Let's go!